Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today we have Even More Jesus from Evil Twin Brewing. I have had this beer a couple times, and this one is an actual pint. 1 pint. All of Evil Twin's beers are. I've had this one a couple times. It is an American Imperial Stout. It comes in at 12% alcohol, 75 IBUs, and you will not taste a single one. So in the description for this one is, a few times in the history of craft beer, it has happened that a highly praised beer rises beyond mortal stardom into a higher godly league. Usually the recipe to make such heavenly drops is thick fudge-like body, pitch black color, amazingly overwhelming aromas of chocolate, coffee, dark fruits, and muscovado sugar. Obviously only made in limited amounts, and most crucial of all, it must taste rare. This one does. So on Untapped it gets a 4.13, 4.13. First time it was 4.5. The second time I gave it 4.75. Let's see if a third time for this beer is any better. And for this one I'm using my Tiku glass from Brewing. It was for their Epic Blackout Stout that came out this last winter. And it was a very good beer, but it does need some tweaking. Don't know why I'm not giving this a hard pour. This one can literally do a hard pour. And for an Imperial Stout, it actually has quite a bit of head. So I'll stop it there. It's not quite all of it. But as you can see, we have about 2.5 fingers of head. And this thing is pitch black. And you can't see into that at all. See on the nose, I get roasted malt, chocolate, slight bit of coffee, even a little sugary sweetness, but it's mostly the roasted malt and the chocolate. Wow. A blast of flavor. I definitely get some coffee bitterness out of this one. Nothing from the hops, but I get some coffee bitterness. Coffee bitterness just throughout. There's a chocolate in the middle, but I don't really get anything else in the front or the back. But it is an incredibly thick beer. Mouthfeel is lightly carbonated, and like I said, thick. It is not light by any standards. This beer is big. See, like I said, it has 75 IBUs, but you do not get that out of this beer. There is so much malt, so much going on in this. The only bitterness you get is from the coffee that is throughout the taste. And once again, it coats the glass. I actually get a lot of chocolate in the aftertaste as well. The bitterness from the coffee subsides, and it's taken over by the chocolate on the very end. I think I'm going to stick with a 4.75 for the rating on this beer. It is not very often that a beer gets a 5-star for me. This is just about as close as you can get without getting that 5 stars. This is absolutely one of my favorite Imperial Stouts I've ever had. And I actually picked it up on a whim. I was out and I wanted something big. I hadn't had a big beer in a long time. So I bought a few things. This was one of them. And I can honestly say, for a style I love, it is one of the best. If you like Imperial Stouts, it is very highly recommended. I cannot say enough good things about this beer. A 4.75 is a big rating for me. With that said, I had gone out last night and I had a fair few beers while I was out. A friend of mine and I were intending to go. A friend of mine and I were intending to go to Pint 9 Brewing, and I always forget the name of the other one offhand. It is right next door to Pint 9. But we were intended to go to those two breweries. And I didn't even think about it. Because, Monday night, usually nothing's closed. They were both closed. Cross Strain was the other one. So we're thinking maybe Saturday we're going to go to those two. But we ended up going to Nebraska Brewing Company, which was not too far away. Nebraska Brewing has been around in this state for years, well before I was into craft beer. And they're not bad. They're not one of the best any longer in this state. But there's a whole lot of breweries cropping up all the time. Those two breweries we're going to go to were 2 doors apart. There was it's a brand new strip mall, and there is literally an empty space. And on this side, there is Cross Strain. Over here, Pint 9. But with all the new breweries that have gone in, Nebraska Brewing Company is no longer one of the best. They're still really good, and I had some great beers there. I had a beer called I'm Gonna Get You Citra, which got a 3.75 rating for me. It was good, a lot of citrus flavor in that one. My buddy got Gimme S'more, which was pretty good. The nose on it was just s'more. The taste wasn't too much different. Not that you would expect anything different. But how well it was made, I gave it a 4.25.